Hello, my name is Jay and welcome back to my Tech Vault. And here we've got a gaming PC, but not any gaming PC. This PC is a Christmas PC. Now obviously I wasn't trying to individually just single out one holiday season. I know people celebrate a wide range of things, and please consider this more of like a theme of the holidays rather than me just picking out one individual, holiday in the many that are in this season. So I've got a PC, and I'm almost saying pumpkin PC. Why? Because I've done two pumpkin PCs for the last two Halloweens, and I thought instead of, we've done pumpkin PCs, and I plan to make that kind of more of a tradition, like carving a PC and carving a pumpkin and putting a PC in it and building something special for it. I think we need to continue that kind of theme by doing something for this holiday, which the holiday I celebrate is Christmas. So I put up, and we got a nice little Christmas tree here. Obviously it's not real. A little too much work on that department, but what it is, I basically hung up all the different computer components kind of like ornaments. So that way you have more of, you get the hard drive up here. And that was actually a big challenge, because trying to get something that's supposed to be in a case and without any case mounts, without a lot of different things, was kind of important to make sure you didn't have things falling off. I got a bunch of hooks in there to hold it in, but pretty much that's all you can see on here. And on the top, I did the favorite logo that everybody on Reddit, when I post this on Reddit, is going to get a lot of popularity simply because of this. That's at the top, by the way. That's the Christmas star. But since and hopefully this doesn't fall. Well, it's okay. Anyway, so that was the Christmas tree. And basically, let's talk a little bit more about what we got going on here. So I've got a terabyte solid state hard drive or hybrid drive. I wanted that just simply because especially because I want to know, can your Christmas tree run Crysis? But I basically put a nice little hard drive in there. I didn't put an SSD because, well, obviously this is not supposed to be something that's going to last a long time. But in your situation, if you wanted to make a PC that lasts a long time, especially because Christmas only comes around once in a while and you don't want to put up your Christmas tree too early, this isn't going to be out for too long. So I only put a hard drive in there. I'm not wasting on my precious SSDs. So next up, we've got a couple different components here. I decided to go pretty much on the cheap route, and I think this monitor may be blocking, so I apologize. But I started up by putting a 660 with 2 gigabytes of GDDR5, which obviously you can go a bunch of different ways of doing this. Obviously, I didn't want to put anything too expensive on there because I didn't want it to fall off and break. As someone that's doing this, it's more important to kind of do proof of concept, have a working computer, yes, but not have something that's going to be upset if you break something, especially something on my main system where I have like a lot of my video editing software, all that stuff, it needs that hardware, and if I break that, it's kind of a bad situation for me. But I decided to go with a low profile cooler. Why? Well, because I didn't want a big hunk of metal hanging off here and tipping the whole thing over. I really wanted to keep everything as much, I guess, trying to keep everything on the motherboard as possible so you didn't have things tipping over. I have a bunch of different coolers. I chose this one. This is one actually I got sponsored a while back for. I was able to review it and stuff, so that was the cooler I chose just because it's low profile and not a big hunk of metal that's hanging off. I got 4 gigabytes of DDR3, and it's basically just simple memory, just kind of proof of concept, things like that. And then as pretty much everything else, I got a power supply. The power supply is actually right up against the center of the tree, simply because I didn't want a lot of cables hanging out everywhere, and B, kind of making sure things don't tip over. But besides that, let's talk about a few things about thermals. So as for thermals, there was a couple different things I wanted to talk about here. So first off, the GPU was really difficult in order to get the fan underneath it, because this GPU, I don't know if you've seen any of my previous videos, has a single fan and it's got all the heat sinks on it, and you really don't want that fan getting tangled in the branches, so that was another challenge. And also, another reason why I chose this CPU cooler was simply because the CPU cooler has all the intake right on the front, so I can kind of check to make sure there's no branches in here. I don't know how well you can actually see, but it's really difficult for me to actually see what's going on underneath the GPU. So if something does get caught in there, I won't know. For heck's sake, it could not even be working. So that's what you got to keep in mind as well. But that's the GPU. So as you can see, it's an interesting situation here. Now let's talk about a little bit of the behind the scenes why I wanted to do this. Well, first off, number one, I have gotten 3,000 subscribers on this channel, and I really, really wanted to do something special. Now, obviously, there's a lot of different themes you could do, a lot of different holidays you could celebrate. Lots of people I know celebrating different holidays, and it's not necessarily, as I said, supposed to be around Christmas. Just kind of a holiday spirit. As you can tell out here, it's kind of snowed recently, and I love to make a snow PC, but we all know electronics and snow don't go too well together. So I've decided to have our nice little PC master race from the subreddit on Reddit, of course, and I really wanted to put that up there just because over the last year or so, most of my views, especially from my substantial videos that have been getting a lot of views, have of course come from the subreddit, and I really do appreciate that. And so that's kind of what's on the top, especially because it's a good symbol of, I guess, how gaming works and how well this PC actually works. But temps overall, really good. CPU is a really stays pretty cool. I don't know if that's related to the cooler itself or just the fact that it's an open design. I would think though that some more fans maybe on the sides or something to get a little bit more airflow directed towards that or towards the cooler would be better. But as for like adding case fans, I didn't think it'd be a good idea simply because it's not an enclosed area, so you wouldn't get that static pressure and you wouldn't get that pressure pushing out or pushing over the fan. So I really didn't think it would be a good idea to throw those in there and basically just push the air out because there's nothing to push and there's no confinement, so the air would get pushed out. As for gaming, I really think that these parts are not going to be that different, especially since I've already tested and benchmarked the system. The gaming itself is just going to be what the parts are. I will say though that you'll probably have slightly better temps. You may get some better overclocking, some better boost speeds, things like that. But as for the system individually, I've tested it and benchmarking it again, well, it's just going to kind of yield the same results that I've had in the past. So instead of saving me time, especially on this video, since I've got some other cool projects I'm working on, like a $30 gaming PC, with other different parts that I got from yard sales, I really wanted to just, if you really want to see this benchmark, the performance will of course be the same, but I really wanted to just take today to try to show you what proof of concept this was, especially since the last time I did it, and I'll be doing the time lapse of me actually like putting everything up and building the tree. That was the last kind of pumpkin PC I did. That was really interesting because I went through and I did the whole build process of the pumpkin, and then I did the whole build process of selecting the parts. And for these parts, these are all stuff that I've done before, used before. I know how it works. Some of the newer parts that I've gotten, I don't really know, especially with the bigger coolers. I didn't want things tipping off, as I said earlier. But thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed today's video, give it a thumbs up. If you enjoyed the the Christmas tree, definitely check that out, the Christmas tree PC. Thank you, and give it a thumbs up. And also check out my channel for other cool tech-related things like the pumpkin PC, the $30 PC from yard sales, $75 gaming PC, long list of individual PCs that I've done centered around certain things. But thank you very much for watching. Goodbye.